Hello YouTubers, welcome back to my Thoughtful Thursday video series. Today I wanted to talk to you about how to become your own superhero. So basically it's going to be a little bit of an empowerment conversation today with how you can provide yourself with the tools or the necessary mental attitude to be your own superhero. Because we all, from my perspective, we all have a deep innate power that is just waiting to come up and be spread to those around us. Every single one of us has a purpose, has a drive, something that we love to do that will help others, enrich their lives as well as our own, because it's that deep sense of satisfaction. We are able to help others improve their lives, and of course having that deep down desire, that need that is fed when we help others, is unlike any sort of other payment that we can get. Now, of course, I'm not saying that we don't need to get paid. Of course, we all have to have a certain amount of monetary income to play this game in society, to live in a city, to drive a car, to have a building, a house, right? These things are all necessary, but I'm talking about something deep down. This is feeding the soul. So, here are a few things that I'm currently working with to help unleash my personal inner superhero for me and of course for others. The first thing is every morning, start your day. And I know I've said this before, but it's reiterating it. Wake up with a positive thought. Because if you wake up and you're like, oh, I don't want to get out of bed, or oh, it's so cold, or oh, I'm so tired. Well, guess what? That's just going to snowball into the rest of your day. So what's a more beneficial thing or a beneficial mindset to have upon waking is, I can't wait until I blank, have a cup of coffee, or get a chance to stand up, or go to the bathroom, whatever it may be able to, it could be as simple as just cracking a smile. Maybe you do a few of the yoga poses that I put out on yesterday's Workout Wednesday last week's Workout Wednesday that you can do to get yourself in that positive mindset. Just take a moment and breathe deeply, doing a quick body scan before you jump out of bed. Second thing, if you are one of those who wake up to an alarm clock, most of us use our phones or iPad as an alarm clock. And I understand if you are one of those very hard sleepers who has a very hard time waking up, so you have to have this like nuclear meltdown siren to wake you up. Personally, that stresses me out. It spikes my cortisol levels up, and I'm like, wake up, my heart's racing, and I'm like freaking out. We don't need that. So if you can avoid those kind of really harsh, sharp, ear-piercing sounds, I would go with something that's a little more melodic. If you need that ear-piercing sound, do more of like a ding, like some kind of bell. It's a little softer, it's not as harsh. That's the best word that I can describe that auditory sound. It's just harsh, it's sharp, it kind of stabs at you a little bit. And that's not the way that I want to wake up. Before these phones had alarms, I just had this old school alarm, and it was I was not a fan. So try to get a more peaceful, harmonious type of alarm clock. One of my favorite things, and I haven't tried it yet, but you can try it and see how it goes, is the alarm clock that slowly gets brighter and brighter. Maybe there's an app for it. I will check it out. that, I guess the flashlight on your phone slowly gets brighter and brighter, kind of simulating daylight coming into your room. Now, my room that I'm sleeping in right now, where I sleep, I don't have anything covering my window. So whenever the sun comes up, it's naturally shining into my window. So whenever the sun's coming up, that's when the sun's shining in my window. It doesn't always wake me up, but I usually do wake up and kind of turn over or something like that when the sun does shine through my window. So that's another thing where you can wake yourself up through a natural means of light, whether it's an app on your phone, or I know they make a specific alarm clock for that. And I'll look for it and see if I can't put the link down below. All right. Another thing that helps as far as being your own superhero is eating a superhero-based diet or way of eating. So you can't be a superhero if you're eating like a couch potato, right? So find the foods that work for you, your body in particular. Not what's going on up here. There's a lot of other things inside your body, which I'm not going to get into, but there's a lot of things inside your body that will give the signals off like, oh, I'm so hungry, or oh, I need to have this or need to have that. That sugar craving, that's not natural. You shouldn't have to crave sugar. Salts and fats, that's another thing. If you're craving a big juicy steak with butter on top, a little bit of salt sprinkled on top, if you eat meat, of course, if you're vegetarian, then I guess I'm looking more. If you're vegetarian, imagine like a couple of avocados split up with some little bit of melted coconut oil on top with some sea salt. All right, or for the meat eaters or omnivores, the steak analogy, right? If you imagine that and you're not hungry, if you're not salivating like I am right now about either one of those two options, then you're probably not hungry. You should drink some water or do some arm circles or some sort of like movement. You can just jump up and down, up on your toes, and then down onto your heels a few times. Get that blood flowing and see if that doesn't help. Same thing goes if you are a desk jockey in your job and you're sitting there and you're just getting hungry, more than likely because of boredom. Get up, stand up, and move. Okay? Most time, especially when we're sedentary for long periods of time, we end up gorging ourselves just because we're bored of being in the same position for so long. So if you are able to stand up in your station and walk around a little bit, it's as simple as this. You don't do anything more. Just arms are loose, up on the toes, down on the heels, up on the toes, down on the heels. Just doing simple things like that. Just doing simple things like that help a tremendous amount. And getting that blood flowing, getting more active. It wakes up your mind a little bit, gets you back on track and being the most productive employee that you can be and the best self that you can be, creating your own superhero, which is yourself. I am currently on this mission as well. The only thing that is responsible for your own happiness is yourself. Nothing or no one else can provide that for you. It is something that you have to create in your own mind. It's nobody else's responsibility. If you want it, go and get it in any means necessary. Now, I'm not saying you should resort to theft, right? Because that's just a morally wrong thing. But at the same time, you go out and you work for what it is that you want. And if you keep that mindset, you will get it. Which leads me to my very last point to becoming your own superhero is to write down or print or type up, create some sort of, I call it a vision board, or you can make a picture frame with the things that you wish to achieve, to have. Whatever goals it is, whether it's a car or a business or a trip somewhere exotic. Write those things down, whether it's the kind of person that you want to meet, whether it's friend or significant other, whatever it is, create that, write it down, draw it, sketch it, put it in a frame, put it on your vision board, and put it somewhere where you're going to see it every day. Maybe it's in your kitchen, or maybe it's in your bathroom. Maybe it's in your bedroom, where you wake up in the morning, and you kind of roll over to the side, and you look at the side of the wall, and boom, there it is. It needs to be something that you see every day, at least once or twice a day. I would preferably have twice a day, maybe even 3 times, that you visit and you stand or sit there or you lie there and you look at it and you think about it and you imagine it in your head. You do that consistently and often enough, there is no chance that it cannot happen. Meaning, at some point, when the time comes, when the time is right, I suppose, I believe that dream will happen, because we are all superheroes in our own life, creating our own realities. Keep going and keep growing, my superheroes.